Hello there. Welcome to Just the Dis. We talk about Blu-rays here. My name is Brian, and I've got a collection update happening here. I have some new stuff from Imprint Films, from Kino Lorber in 4K, from Eureka. Cool collection from them. And maybe Kino. We'll see how far we get. I might have some other stuff depending on how verbose I am. So let's kick it off with a recent release from Imprint Films in Australia, part of Via Vision Entertainment. And they put out some wonderful editions. I've been documenting that here on the channel when I can. And they are region free. So you don't have to worry, if you're not in Australia, about importing and having any issues here in the States with playing these discs. They are perfectly playable. And this one is pretty cool. This is, as you can see, Steve McQueen as the Hunter from 1980. This is Steve McQueen's last film. And I like that little description in the corner. He's not as fast as he used to be. That's what makes him human. He's a bounty hunter, and that's what makes him dangerous. And it's about, he plays a bounty hunter called Ralph Papa Thorson, and he pursues a number of fugitives who have skipped bail. The chase turns full circle when he becomes the quarry of a vengeful psychopath. Steve McQueen's final film reveals the dynamic talent of the late great actor in one of his most memorable roles. And yeah, this is a really solid film, actually. You know, you sometimes think about last films for an actor, and you know, they may be not looking as good as they once did or whatever, or you know, it ends up being something kind of schlocky because that's all the work they could get at the end, and you know, that's kind of sad, but that's not the case here. This is I think a really enjoyable thriller with some comedic elements. One running joke in the film is Ralph Papa Thorson has problems parking. And so he's always trying to park his car and like hitting various things, including other cars. And it's almost like a plot point in the movie. But it becomes a thing where he ends up kind of angering the wrong person through sort of his business dealings, and it ends up kind of going south for him, and that ends up being sort of the, you know, plot point that drives the film forward, really. And it's got a really good supporting cast. It's got Catherine Harold, who's one of my favorites. She of Modern Romance with Albert Brooks. She's also in like The Sender. That's one of my favorite early 80s, you know, sci-fi thrillers. Really great movie. There's a good Arrow edition of that, and I think Olive put it out as well. But Catherine Harold, just a wonderful actor, and I'm a big fan. Let's see, LeVar Burton shows up here. I want to say he's one of the guys that Steve McQueen picks up at one point. And Ben Johnson as a sheriff that, as I recall, doesn't really dig Steve McQueen's character. So it's one of those like sort of down and out kind of guy kind of movies. And I want to say there's a good role for, it's not Joe Spinell. Dang it, I'm forgetting right now. But I really like this movie, and it has not been available on Blu-ray previous to this. There was only a Paramount DVD, and so this actually has some cool features too. Audio commentary by film historian Jason Ney, and then Steve McQueen Man on the Edge vintage documentary. So it's one of those discs where you get an actual documentary as a special feature, and I do like that because I've seen that from Imprint before. They've done that in some of their special editions, and it's a really cool thing, especially, you know, when it's the last film the guy made. It's a nice way to sort of see him off, if you will, you know. And so Good stuff from Steve McQueen. The Hunter from Imprint. I'll just give you the look inside. As always, Imprint with the number and the year of the film on the side. I've always liked that. And then, of course, the alternate art. And then they typically have some artwork inside like that, which is cool. And they number the discs as well. Okay. So that is The Hunter from Imprint. Next up from Imprint, we have a Samuel Fuller war film. This is China Gate. And this is, I think, a little bit underrated in Fuller's oeuvre, if you will. It's from 1957. I'm trying to think where that fits in with... I mean, if you're a fan of Fuller and you know him from like Naked Kiss and Shock Corridor, I want to say those are the 60s films. This is more in the war film period. I mean, obviously he did the Big Red One towards the end there, but the war films, I'm thinking like Steel Helmet being the big one. I want to say that's like 1950 though. Yeah, this is an interesting one. It's got Gene Barry, Angie Dickinson, Nat King Cole, who's really good in this, actually. Didn't do enough acting as far as I'm concerned. And it is the story of the human tide that poured through the China Gate, told through the smile of an abandoned child, the cunning of a Eurasian girl, and the fury of a battle-crazed American. And the Eurasian girl, I guess, is, of course, Angie Dickinson in this case. But I remember this being solid in that it's... I don't want to give away the ending, but it's like kind of one of those sort of heroic kind of endings. An ending that's not necessarily a happy ending, if I recall, but one that kind of gets you, you know? And I always liked that about Fuller. He was just not afraid to do that kind of thing. So this one, you know, it's like I said, I think it got a Blu-ray from Olive Films at one point, and it didn't have any extras. I'll go through the extras in a second, but I'm excited because this one, oh yeah, Lee Van Cleef. I knew there was more people in this cast that I wasn't remembering. Lee Van Cleef. Oh, it's during his Fox period. That's what I was thinking of. His Fox stuff, you know, like Hell or High Water, which is a weird, like, submarine World War III movie. That's highly underrated as well. House of Bamboo is in this period. That's more post-war noir almost. But anyway, it's a Korean War film, and I think it's the only one that he did about... Now I'm going to lose my my sureness of where this sits in terms of... I think he only did one Korean War film, but yeah, now I'm blanking. But anyway, I like Fuller a lot, and the more Fuller on Blu-ray, the better as far as I'm concerned. And I just remember digging this one. I remember particularly digging Nat King Cole's performance, and so this is going to be good stuff, I think. So we have audio commentary by film historian Sam Deegan. This is a cool Daughters of Darkness combo extras kind of thing, and I love that. Daughters of Darkness is, of course, the podcast that Sam Deegan and Kat Ellinger did together. I think they still do. I think they do it on YouTube now. Highly recommended. Definitely check that out. So Sam does the commentary. Then there's A Peace of Mind, personal look at China Gate by Samantha Fuller and Christina Lang Fuller. And then Tough Girl, Angie Dickinson's early roles in film, a video essay from film historian Kat Ellinger. So that's where we get the tag team of the two of them together. And so that's really cool. I love it when they're together on a disc. I love that they've become go-tos for commentaries and Kat's visual essays. Just fantastic to me. Couldn't be happier about it. So Anyway, if you're into Sam Fuller, this is one that's sort of a low-key gem, I think, in his filmography and worth checking out. That's China Gate. Then I've got some 4Ks that I picked up during the sale a while back. I got Some Like It Hot. So you have the 4K Ultra HD of the movie, which I've heard good things about. I haven't had a chance to check this out yet. Billy Wilder's film, of course, about two band dudes on the run from the St. Valentine's Day Massacre after having witnessed it. And those are Jack Lemmon and, of course, Tony Curtis. And they go undercover in a girls' band dressed as women going down to Florida. And that's where they meet Sugar, played by Marilyn Monroe in, probably her most famous role. And yeah, so this is, of course, from 1959. This already has a Criterion Blu-ray, I believe, but now we get a 4K. And, oh yeah, it's Billy Wilder and IAL Diamond. Great screenwriting combo. The two of them work together a lot, and they did some funny stuff. This is definitely a funny movie, a very funny movie, with one of my favorite endings, which I definitely am not going to spoil, but the last line is just about, the best in any Wilder movie, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, Shut Up and Deal is pretty good from The Apartment, but yeah, this is pretty great. So we have, in terms of features, audio commentary by film historian Joseph McBride, author of Billy Wilder Dancing on the Edge. I like that they're getting him to do commentary tracks like they did on The Apartment 4K and now here. And then audio commentary by Paul Diamond, son of IAL Diamond, and screenwriters Lowell Gans and Babalu Mandel. That's very cool. Of course, the screenwriting team that Ron Howard worked with for a long time. I will always love them because they wrote Night Shift, which is still one of my favorite Ron Howard films. But yeah, they're an enjoyable screenwriting comedy duo. So that's a cool commentary. I definitely am curious to hear them talk about their love of this film and talk to Paul Diamond about his dad. And then apparently that commentary features interviews with Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon as well. So I love it when they have a lot going on in this track. You have two screenwriters I'd love to hear talk about the movie and the son of one of the original screenwriters, plus excerpts from the actual actors that you can cut in. So that's great. Then you have the making of Some Like It Hot, the legacy of Some Like It Hot, nostalgic look back documentary, memories from the Sweet Sue's featurette, virtual Hall of Memories featurette, Billy Wilder and Volker Schlondorf discuss Some Like It Hot. Well, that's interesting. And a tribute to IAL Diamond. So really, this is like $15 during that sale. So highly recommend watching for Kino sales for 4Ks. And then next, I grabbed Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, the film with, as you can see, Gary Oldman. And then, of course, Benedict Cumberbatch, Colin Firth, Tom Hardy, John Hurt, Toby Jones, Mark Strong. I haven't seen this one in a while. I remember enjoying it, obviously based on, I want to say, a British miniseries with Alec Guinness. And I remember enjoying that a lot, too, although that's been a long time, 20 plus years. But yeah, this is from 2011. Wow, that's a long time ago now. And yeah, another $15 Blu-ray, new 4K restoration by Studio Canal. And it says from the original 4K DSM, approved by cinematographer Hoyt Van Hoytma. Gary Oldman leads an extraordinary all-star cast in this masterful adaptation of John le Carré's best-selling novel that redefined the spy thriller. At the height of the Cold War, a precarious operation goes deadly wrong, and the head of British intelligence wonders if a double agent is leaking vital secrets. Brought out of retirement to expose the potential mole, master spy George Smiley, Oldman, in an Oscar-nominated performance, is the only one who can be trusted to expose one of their own, or can he? As the emotional and physical tolls mount on the high-ranking suspects, Smiley will be forced into the ultimate international spy game where everyone's motives are in question. Director Thomas Alfredson let the right one in and cinematographer Hoyt van Hoytema, Dunkirk. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Craft a visually stunning and deeply resonant tale that's packed with powerful performances by Colin Firth, Tom Hardy, John Hurt, Toby Jones, Mark Strong, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Ciarán Hinds. So I just remember this being a good little twisty spy movie. Like, it had some turns that I didn't remember or I didn't expect, and I don't remember it this time, so they're going to be new to me when I come back to it. But yeah, $15 for this 4K from Kino. I had to do it. I'm excited to have this one again because it's just like the exact right amount of time for me to want to rewatch this. So Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy from Kino on 4K. Next up we have from Eureka. This is the Three Monster Tales of Sci-Fi Terror collection. And I love these Eureka classic genre kind of collections. This is what the artwork looks like on the inside, but it's 3 films, so we can talk about that. But a trio of chilling sci-fi tales from the vaults of Universal Pictures, a number of genre legends, including Lionel Atwill, Lon Chaney Jr., and Grant Williams star. So you have a mad scientist transforms a carnival performer, Lon Chaney Jr., into an electric-powered maniac and man-made monster. I feel like Joe Dante he may do a Trailers from Hell on all of these, actually. These really sound familiar in terms of that. So definitely go look up Trailers from Hell, look up Joe Dante's Trailers from Hell specifically, and actually don't even worry about looking up this movie. Just go watch Joe Dante Trailers from Hell, and you can watch those for like 6 hours or more. I mean, he's got so much stuff, and there's so many great recommendations in there. But this is the kind of thing that he would recommend that sometimes I would have missed. You know, we all know the Universal horror films, the big ones, but some of these outliers, these things that came out around that time, tend to get lost in the shuffle, and so that's why I like picking up a collection like this. Also because, Eureka does a great job with their encoding. It looks really, really good, and you don't get as much of potential artifacting. And anyway, it's a good, solid release. It's Region B locked. I mean, in terms of what they do, they're always solid. Okay, so one is the 1941 film Man-Made Monster. Then in Monolith Monsters from 1957, a giant meteor crashes to the Earth, and the fragments begin to spread, turning everyone they come into contact with into stone. Very cool. I like that premise. And finally, Fear stalks the seemingly tranquil halls of Dunsfield University in Monster on the Campus, directed by Jack Arnold, who of course did Creature from the Black Lagoon, among others, and this is from 1958. When a paleontology professor becomes infected with irradiated blood and begins to devolve into a primitive beast. Now, I have pulled out the Shout Factory editions of both the Monolith Monsters and Monster on the Campus, just to do a little comparison here for you guys. I don't think Man-Made Monsters got a Blu-ray in the States right now. Not 100% sure, but I don't think so. So that might be a debut as part of this set. But let's talk about the extras in this set. I'm assuming these transfers are the same. They don't say anything about new scans. But let's see here. Man-Made Monster has a brand new commentary with author Stephen Jones and critic Kim Newman. Now, this is why I like to go to Eureka, because, I love Tom Weaver. I think he's great. He does a lot of this kind of stuff. In fact, he might be on the commentaries for these other ones. But if I had to pick Stephen Jones and Kim Newman, I've talked about them on the channel before. I've praised them before. I'm going to do it again. I think they're one of the best duos. They're just fun to hang out with. Like, I'd love to just have a beer with those guys, because they're just a blast. They don't take themselves too seriously. They know a lot about this kind of movie. They sort of live and breathe it. It's part of their DNA. And so I love hearing their commentaries. And so that's going to be great. I don't think I've seen Man-Made Monster, so I'm all about that and listening to that track. The Monolith Monsters, brand new audio commentary by Kevin Lyons and Jonathan Rigby. And then Monster on the Campus, brand new audio commentary with Stephen Jones and Kim Newman again. That one I'm really looking forward to. I actually remember enjoying Monster on the Campus in that sort of, I don't want to say campy 50s sci-fi way, but like, you know, when it's a college campus in the 1950s, for me that's automatically, I don't want to say funny, but it's just there's a certain vibe to that. College campuses in the 1950s on film, the students always look older. It's just a totally different energy and feeling than my college years. So I've always been amused by it, not necessarily laughing at it, but amused by it. So again, to hear Kim Newman and Stephen Jones talk about it sounds like a blast. It looks like there's the 1:3:3 and 2:1 aspect ratios included here. So that's kind of cool. I'll have to double check how that goes with the Scream Factories. But so this is a new cool collection that I picked up from Diabolic DVD. Big plug for them. Always recommend Diabolic DVD. DiabolicDVD.com. Great stuff. Great place to pick up Eureka discs. Actually, Eureka specifically, I almost always get them from Diabolic. It's just easier than Amazon UK. Seems quicker too, actually. So that's that set. But let me just talk about. So here's the Scream Factory Monolith Monsters. It does say this now. This says it has the 1.85 and 2.0. Maybe it's talking about features and no, it's only commentaries. Interesting. Okay. Well, all right. So this has a new audio commentary of film historian Tom Weaver and film music historian David Schechter, and another commentary with film historian author Mark Jankovic, who wrote Rational Fears, American Horror in the 50s. So, I don't know. You know, I might have to keep it. 2 more commentaries. If it was just one, maybe I would let it go. But anyway, so that's what you get with that one that you don't get on this Eureka set. Then we've got Monster on the Campus. I do like that artwork. And then this one, it looks like it's just 1.85. Huh. Interesting. Different aspect ratios happening. Aspect ratio wars, it sounds like. So then we got another new audio commentary by author Dana M. Reams. I guess the book directed by Jack Arnold. And then new audio commentary by Professor of Film Studies, author Mark Jankovic, on this one as well. So I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know. I might have to hold on to all that. Because I really did like Monster on the Campus quite a bit. I'm gonna have to watch Monolith Monsters, but Joe Dante definitely does a commentary on that. Probably both. Okay. Let's see, what else have we got here? This is an old one, and I may have talked about it here, but I don't think so. It's a Kino Lorber collection from a few years back now, the Maybe Van Doren Film Noir collection, and I bought this for one specific movie, but if I recall, they're all pretty fun, and I wish they'd do more like this. They haven't done. Well, I guess they just did the Edgar G. Ulmer collection recently, so this is actually just like that. No, they're doing fine. Never mind. So Maybe Van Doren Film Collection. These are at the time newly restored in 4K. This collection includes 3 film noir classics starring the voluptuous screen goddess Mamie Van Doren, The Girl in Black Stockings. Now, this is the one I remember played, I think, on TCM Underground at one point, and it was like a cult. It was part of like a cult film series they were doing, and I was like, "What is that?" And it had Anne Bancroft in it, and it was like a murder mystery, and I remember digging that. And I think I ended up buying a MOD DVD of it at some point. So when I saw it was on this collection, I sold the MOD and I got this. And so that was why I got it. But then I was like, oh, what are these other two movies? Let's see here. Well, it's a Girl in Black Stockings. A party girl is murdered and everyone in Utah, in a Utah motel, is a suspect. I like it better if everyone in Utah is a suspect. Directed by Howard W. Koch, Big House USA, and co-starring Anne Bancroft, Lex Barker, Tarzan, nice, and Marie Windsor. That's right, Marie Windsor's in it. And so that's cool. And then Guns, Girls, and Gangsters. In Las Vegas, a group of criminals plan to rob an armored truck, hauling casino loot to a bank. That's cool. Directed by Edward L. Kahn, and co-starring Lee Van Cleef, Gerald Moore, and Paul Fix. And then you have Vice Raid. A prostitution syndicate sends one of their call girls, Mamie Van Doren, to New York City to frame a police officer. Once again, directed by Kahn and co-starring Brad Dexter, 99 River Street, Richard Coogan, and Barry Atwater. So that's cool. And it has an interview with Mamie Van Doren and trailers for the movies. But I would imagine... I'm trying to think if I've spotted this in any of the sales recently. And I don't know if I have. So maybe... Hopefully it's not out of print. Because, like I said, it's a few years old at this point. But I think a fun collection and worth grabbing if you're into maybe Van Doren or noir or murder mysteries. You know, any of the above. So that is that. And then lastly, I don't think I've talked about this on the channel, but I picked it up a while back. This is The Trip. Now, this came out from Olive Films years ago in a bare bones edition. This is the Signal 1 edition from the UK. It is Region B locked, but it's way, way, way better than the previous Olive version, okay? This, of course, when commercial director Peter Fonda plunges into a crisis after the breakdown of his marriage, he asks self-styled guru Bruce Dern, in a great Bruce Dern role, an advocate of LSD, to guide him on his first trip. After scoring some acid from their friend Max, Dennis Hopper, Paul enters a mind-altering realm of beauty and terror, the like of which he has never known before. Written by acclaimed actor Jack Nicholson and directed by legendary producer Roger Corman, this seminal slice of cinematic psychedelia was banned for an astonishing 36 years, but is now available on Blu-ray for the very first time. I guess this came out before the Olive, but I don't know if that's right. Regardless, this is the one you want to get because you have the audio commentary from director Roger Corman, where I believe he talks about, hopefully I'm not being apocryphal here, but he actually did acid himself to kind of get a sense of what it was like, you know, before he did the film. Rarely do you have a director with that kind of conviction. There's a deleted prologue with optional Roger Corman commentary, alternative ending with optional Corman commentary, Tune In, Trip Out, a 2003 documentary with cast and crew interviews, Alan Davio ASC on the psychedelic film effects. It does have some really cool psychedelic film color effects. It's a fun movie. It's a cool movie. And then psychedelic lightbox film effects montage. So you can just, if you're in the mood, I guess you can just throw on a montage of the psychedelic film effects of the movie. The scene that stands out for me all the time, there's a scene where Fonda gets loose from Bruce Dern and ends up wandering into a laundromat, and he just listens to a washing machine and has this like weird experience listening to a washing machine. I don't think there's too many movies where a guy listens to a washing machine. So if that's something that's of interest to you, I think The Trip is your movie. That's all I'm going to say. So anyway, that will do it for this collection update. Hopefully something in here for you to check out and or enjoy. I thank you for watching. I thank you for listening. And I will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.